Hi crypto kings and queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode I will show you on both Bitcoin and Ethereum what the targets is if I would want to buy the market in case we see the market having a bigger pullback to the upside to create a lower high and then see the market break down one more time, or if we actually see the market doesn't have the power to break to these levels. I also have different levels where I could potentially sell the markets. Don't forget that I'm no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you exactly what I see and what I think will happen to Bitcoin and on Ethereum right now. Let us just start off with the daily chart first of all and just do everything from the beginning. And we start off on Bitcoin on the weekly chart, and we are right now retesting a previous support. You can see that we have 1, 2, almost 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 wicks that came to this level exactly at around 29,400, 300. And what you know already that I do expect the market to pull back down to the wick that we do have at 25,160. But if we go down to the lower time frames, because you can see how the market is respecting the support that we did have since before. So we're just going to adjust it a little bit. So looks something like this. Okay, so we zoom in and we need to change it to where the price is at the moment. So I would want to have my support just like this. And if we go to the 2 daily chart instead, what we can do on the 2 daily chart is that we take a trend line from the high and connect it with the wicks that we can see on the 2 daily chart. Go down to the daily just to adjust it a little bit if we need to. And it can look something like this. And we go down to the 4-hourly chart, and you can already see how the market is respecting this level. You can see on the 4-hourly chart, you can see that we do have some bodies that is breaking it. But if we go to the daily chart, you can see that I connected with the daily candlesticks close. So that is why you can see how perfectly the market is retesting the resistance trend line. And going back to the higher time frames, because we came back down to a support. So 2 things can obviously happen. Either you see the market having a bigger momentum to the upside or not a bigger momentum. But if we drag a Fibonacci first of all from 31,273 back down to 28,586, that gives us Fibonacci levels 29,950 and 30,252. If we now go down to the lower time frames, what we can see is that if we break this resistance trend line, which actually looks like we can do, this could be where we see the market pull back up to these levels. So these are the first levels that I still do expect the market to pull back up to, for then see the market having a bigger momentum to the downside. And you can see that this Fibonacci level that I do have is also exactly connected with the wick. So if we come back up to these level and we start to see the momentum to the downside, target 1 will be 27,962, take profit 2 will be 26,578, and take profit 3 will be at the low of the wick. But we are going to follow the Fibonacci. So take profit 3 will be 25,370. If we go to the lower time frames now, you can see we see the market is coming right back up to this resistance trend line, and you can obviously see that you have the resistance because usually the market is not just breaking through it. Even if we will see the market breaking through it, I do believe that we can come back down a little bit and then the market collect the power to break to the upside. If we just go to the 12-hourly, because we want to see if we find any patterns that is actually showing us that we are on the way up. Another thing that I can do is that if I go down to the lower time frames, the first thing that I saw was this little trend line right here. So we go down to the 30 minutes chart just to see what we can do with this, right? So if we connect the dots from this low with this lower high, you can see how perfectly the market came back up and retested that exact level, and then market slowly and steady had the higher lows that is representing the uptrend, right? So what we can try to do is that we can try to figure out where is the next higher low that potentially can be created now. So we drag a Fibonacci from 28,940 to the high at 29,341. We can also go down to the 50 minutes chart, and we're going to adjust the the Fibonacci by just dragging it up to the last higher low on the 50 minutes. So we change the Fibonacci from 29,085 to the same high. If we see the market pull back down now for a potential new higher low before we see the market maybe have the momentum to the upside, we can come back down to 29,215 and potentially 29,185, and then see the break of this resistance trend line. But if we see more momentum to the downside, we can also take it back down to the first low that I did have, and that gives us Fibonacci level 29,145 and 29,100. So that is only if we start to see more momentum. So what we do is that we just change the Fibonacci to see, okay, this just might be where it just might be these Fibonacci level the market will respect. But first of all, I'm gonna drag it up to this low because it is the first target that the market will come to. So for me not missing the trade, I'm taking it to the closest one, and then when the market comes to these levels, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to look at how the market is looking, and if I start to see that the market is actually giving me what I need for me to be able to buy the market, I will go in for a long position around these levels. Obviously also see a huge drop from nowhere, so that is why it's really important that when we look at these Fibonacci levels where we expect the market to create the higher low, in case the market would from nowhere have a huge just a bigger momentum to the downside, what we're going to do is that we're going to use the last higher low, in this case what we have at what prices we have right now. So we're going to take away the big box and we're going to use the previous higher low that we do have around 28,950. So if we see the market coming back down maybe to these levels too, if we have big bearish candlesticks and we just break through everything and we break the support trend line, that is when I look for sell positions instead of buy positions, because the market is, we always need to follow what the market is giving us, and that is why it's really good using these different levels to see if are we respecting the higher low and see the market push up to the higher time frames Fibonacci for then the reverse, or maybe the market doesn't have the power to actually break and come up to these Fibonacci levels, and you see the market is done with the pullback because we just might also just retest this resistance trend line, and then you see the market having bigger momentum to the downside. We break the support trend line, and that is telling me, okay, this just might be where we sell the market around these levels instead of the Fibonacci levels on the higher time frame. I only use the different targets to see how the market is reacting to it. For me to not miss a trade, I try to just see if we are actually breaking to the downside or to the upside, and by just following market, I just change my mindset because I already have the setups for the uptrend for a buy position, and I also have the setups if we need to sell the market right away, because the overall view, I still believe that we need to come back down to the end of the week that we have on Bitcoin. If we look at the daily chart on Ethereum, what I did highlight the support that we did break. I did highlight the wick that we on Ethereum did fill, exactly also what I did expect it to do. So I also went back in time to see, okay, where is the closest price to if we see the market break the support trend line. That means we can potentially come back down and retest this previous higher low that we do have around 1,600. So if we just zoom in and try to see what's actually happening, we can definitely see the push back up from this retest that we did have from the wick, and see push back up and retest the previous resistance that we do have around 1,900, potentially 1,960, and from these levels you just might see the market drop again. So I do believe that we can have a little pullback right now. Still on the daily chart, what we can do is that we drag a Fibonacci from 2,140 back down to the low at 1,722. That gives us the Fibonacci levels at 1,932 and 1,980. So I could definitely expect the market to pull back up to these levels, see the market bouncing between the support and the Fibonacci, and then slowly and steady I do expect the market to pull back down even more. Same thing, if we see a bigger momentum to the upside, we drag it to the last high that we at 2,342. That gives us Fibonacci level 2,034 and 2,105, and this is the exact same thing that I look for right here, is that we just might pull back up to these levels and then reverse back down to the support again. And the same on Bitcoin. No. Okay, so I have a dog here and he's looking at himself in the mirror and he became angry. I would also be that if I looked like him. Joking, he's cute. I was just joking. I swear he was looking at me. He was like, what? I was just joking. No wonder the cat attacked me. I'm talking shit about them in front of them. That's why they hate me. Don't forget that you can also receive a bonus on BYBIT up to $4,050 by using the link in the description down below the video. This is how you are supporting me in Bitcoinsensus by doing that. So I am available for you 24/7, every single day, 7 days a week, where I go through cryptocurrencies every single day. You have the link in the description down below the video. You have it somewhere here in the corner. Claim the bonus and support me by doing that. Thank you so much, guys, for looking at this video together with me. Don't forget that tomorrow, 8 a.m. Swedish time, 1 hour before London session, we will have our regular morning live streams every single day from Monday to Friday. To subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know when I am live or do have my daily updates about cryptocurrencies. Besides that, I wish you will have a great Sunday and we'll see each other tomorrow. Mwah! From Sweden!